Between April and May 1940, the Soviet secret police, also known as the NKVD, committed mass killings in the Khatyn forest, where remains of 4,300 to 6,000 individuals were found, including thousands of Polish officers and intelligence personnel. This discovery was announced to the Western Allies on April 11, 1943, by Radio Berlin, which revealed that German troops had exhumed the remains of thousands of Polish officers buried in mass graves within the forest. This was just a portion of the death incurred by the Soviet Union's mass executions spanning through all of Byelorussia, which totaled approximately 22,000 victims. This was known as the Khatyn Massacre. Joseph Goebbels noted in his diary on April 9th his understanding of the events at Khatyn and who he believed was responsible. Although the number was slightly off, Goebbels was correct about the core facts. The Soviet Union had deliberately executed thousands of its own citizens. This atrocity was denied by the Soviets until 1990, when the collapse of communism led to its acknowledgement. March 22nd, 1943. Khatyn, Lukhansk, Minsk region, Byelorussia, modern-day Belarus. The Nazi regime, under the leadership of then-Chancellor Adolf Hitler, had begun operations throughout all of the Soviet Union. Starting in 1939, German Wehrmacht forces had led a brutal campaign of territorial acquisition and genocide against the whole of Europe. It had been roughly 4 years after the war started when Operation Barbarossa commenced and sought to take control of the Soviet Union, where the little village of Khatyn had been caught in the middle and viciously slaughtered. Khatyn was located in the central north of the Belarusian Soviet Socialist Republic, an offshoot territory of the Soviet Union. The German forces of the Schutzmannschaft Battalion 118 had begun their descent on the town. This was a response to the destruction of power lines, which construction and maintenance crews of the Nazis were sent to repair alongside a security detachment of the 118th and Ordnungspolizei, Order Police, which were, upon arrival, attacked by the Soviet partisan forces. They suffered 4 of their members being killed in the skirmish.
Great rivals are Torrance of America, world record holder, Berlund of Finland, and Völker of Germany. Here's the German decathlon champion, Sievert. .79 meters. Now for Kuntsi of Finland. .61. And next, the giant Torrance. Looks like a pea in his hand, doesn't it? Only 15.38. That's not one of his best. The Swede Berg. .01. And here is Francis of America. 15.45. Next, Stock, another German. Now here's Berlund, champion of Finland, Völker's most dangerous rival. 16.03, a new Olympic record. Now for Völker of Germany. He's got something to beat. No, 16.96. Fairland's last shot. Better still, 16.12. Now it's Werker's last chance. He means it this time. And he's done it! 16.20. So Germany wins. Volker, Germany. Second, Berlund, Finland. Third, Stock, Germany.
A 32-year-old Nazi company commander by the name of Hauptmann Hans Otto Volker, a 1936 Olympic gold medalist shot putter with a long record of sports awards, including the British AAA Championships title at the event in 1937, was killed during this attack. Men, women, children, and the elderly were at the hands of the Schutzmannschaft Battalion, whose members were of Ukrainian and other Soviet-captured forces, aided by none other than the SS. SS Sonderbataillon de Levanger, also known as the Sturmbrigade de Levanger, the 36th Waffen Grenadier Brigade of the SS, or simply the Black Hunters. This battalion of SS soldiers were made up of released prisoners, convicted criminals, and volunteers, and widely remarked as the most brutal and feared group of Nazi soldiers.
Again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Combining forces of the Der Levanger SS and Schutzmannschaft Battalion led to an excruciating and inhumane extermination of the vast majority of villagers located in Khatyn. The residents were directed into a storage shed, and those who ran were shot by machine guns. The shed was forced shut by a barricade from the outside, doused in kerosene, and burned with the inhabitants of the town still inside. This unwavering brutality triggered the deaths of 149 innocent people, including 79 children. This had come to be the norm during the invasion of the Soviet Union, with nearly 5,300 other villages, farm towns, and cities being set ablaze and utterly destroyed.
Pij bolszewika w każdej go postaci, bo to jest twój największy dzisiaj wróg. To przecież on kościami twoich braci brukował sieć swych niezliczonych dróg. To przecież on na Sybir gnał twe dzieci, a z jęków ich wesołą składał pieśń. To przecież on dziś ojców naszych gniecie i każe im komuny jarzmo nieść. To przecież on w katyńskim ciemnym lesie wbił w polską wierźnię nacka ostry nóż, mordując tam najlepszych polskich synów. Jak podły zbir, nikczemny zdrajca tchórz. To przecież on, jak bóstwo czci Stalina, kapłanom twym nie szczędząc srogich mąk. To przecież on z kościołów zrobił kina i depcze krzyż, czerwoną gwiazdę czcząc. To przecież on nie wierzyć w Boga zmusza, tumaniąc nas potęgą krasnych szmat, by człowieczeństwo w sercu twoim zgasło. Byś ty nie wiedział, co to znaczy brat. To przecież on zrabował twoje mienie i krew serdeczną sączy z naszych ran. On przecież psa niż ciebie więcej ceni, boś Polak jest, więc wróg i polski pan. To przecież on braterstwa głosząc hasła do więzień pcha młodzieży naszej kwiat, by człowieczeństwo w sercu twoim zgasło. Byś ty nie wiedział, co to znaczy brat. Zasłonę więc rzuć z oczu, miły bracie. Niech zabrzmi znów praojców złoty róg. Bij bolszewika w każdej go postaci.
A representation of the Khatyn killing of citizens was depicted in 1985 through the movie Come and See, directed by Elim Klimov. The main character, Fliora, was played by the then 13-year-old Russian Alexei Kravchenko, and his counterpart, Glasha, was played by the 16-year-old Olga Mironova. This movie is an extreme and highly accurate portrayal of the event which occurred at the destruction of Khatyn. Real artillery and tracer bullets were used in the making of the film, nearly missing the young actors and nearly costing their lives. It was the most debilitating fatigue and hunger. I kept a most severe diet, and after the filming was over, I returned to school not only thin, but gray-haired, the young Alexei Kravchenko said during an interview. Fortunately, the young actor's hair wasn't permanently grayed, as the color was a layer of actual silver which had eventually disappeared. The statue of the unconquered man is a heavy, physical reminder of the tolls of the Second World War. Yusuf Kaminsky, the village blacksmith, was the only adult survivor of the Khatyn massacre, suffering third-degree burns on the majority of his body. He awoke after losing consciousness to his son, who was wounded in the abdomen and severely burned, and the only thing Yusuf could do was hold him as his son died in his arms. The rest of his family were martyred with the village. That is the real-world story of the unconquered man, and the deep tragedy of the Khatyn massacre of Belarusian citizens. The pain of Khatyn lives on to this day. The Khatyn Memorial Complex was erected by Belarus in 1969, decorated by 185 tombs memorializing the villages that were destroyed during the advance on Byelorussia by the Nazis, alongside the statue of the unconquered man, Yusuf Kaminsky. The Soviet Union only admitted guilt of these atrocities nearly 50 years later on April 13, 1990, under the new leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev through his glasnost policy, which signaled openness and transparency among the nations. Subsequently, Belarus declared independence from the Soviet Union on July 27th. The Soviet Union was officially dissolved December 26, 1991. Support for Handmade Historian comes from viewers like you. Subscribe to the Patreon to add your name to the end of each video. You can also call or message 512-799-6327 and email handmadehistorian@gmail.com to arrange your donation today. An endless thanks to everyone who supports through viewership or sponsorship.